What happened at the TIME100 Summit 2025 has sent shockwaves through the media landscape, and it's time we unpack this situation in detail. Meghan Markle, a name that has become synonymous with both admiration and criticism, reportedly found herself in a heated confrontation with the event organizers when they refused her request to promote her podcast, Archetypes. This incident isn't just another headline. It's a reflection of a broader issue regarding how Meghan is perceived in elite circles and the challenges she faces in maintaining her brand. Let's set the stage. The TIME100 Summit is not your average event. It's a gathering of some of the most influential figures in the world. Think politicians, scientists, and entertainment icons, all coming together to discuss leadership and innovation. Meghan was invited to share her insights on media and its impact, a topic she's familiar with, but her intentions seemed to stray from the core purpose of the event. Instead of engaging in meaningful discourse, she aimed to turn the summit into a platform for personal promotion. That's where the conflict arose. Sources close to the event disclosed that Meghan was visibly upset when her request was denied. It's hard to overlook the irony here. She was given a prestigious opportunity to speak to a global audience, yet it appears that her focus was on boosting her own visibility rather than contributing to the event's mission. This self-promotional angle has raised eyebrows and sparked discussions among organizers about the implications of allowing such behavior at a gathering that prides itself on idea exchange rather than commercial interests. To understand the gravity of this situation, we need to delve deeper into Meghan's past appearances and how they've been received. At the Invictus Games, for example, she was criticized for redirecting attention away from the veterans' stories and toward her own experiences. This was not an isolated incident. Rather, it appears to be part of a recurring pattern. Critics argue that she often seems more interested in using these platforms to build her personal brand than in genuinely uplifting the causes she purports to champion. This tendency raises questions about her authenticity and whether she can truly connect with audiences on a meaningful level. Now, let's talk about the state of the Sussex brand. Once hailed as the modern face of the royal family, the couple has seen a significant decline in their influence. Their podcast, Archetypes, which initially launched with much fanfare, ended up being discontinued by Spotify due to disappointing listener retention and inconsistent content delivery. This downfall is indicative of a larger trend. The public is becoming increasingly discerning. They are no longer willing to accept celebrity status without substance. And then there's Netflix. The streaming giant entered into a high-profile partnership with Meghan and Harry, but insiders are now suggesting that they're re-evaluating that relationship. The initial excitement surrounding their collaboration hasn't translated into the expected results, and the pressure is mounting for them to deliver content that resonates with audiences. The warning signs are clear. If the Sussexes don't pivot their approach, they may find themselves cut off from lucrative opportunities that once seemed guaranteed. The omission of Meghan from the TIME100 list further compounds these issues. This list is not just a measure of popularity, it reflects public sentiment and the perception of influence. Experts suggest that her absence signals a growing pushback against her PR-centric strategies. The insiders revealed that the event organizers were cautious about being perceived as supporting what they deemed commercial interests disguised as thought leadership. This rejection of Meghan's request, even in light of her royal connections and media influence, is a clear indicator of how public perception is shifting. Let's take a moment to consider the broader implications of this incident. The TIME100 Summit is a platform that represents the pinnacle of thought leadership and global influence. By attempting to use it for self-promotion, Meghan risks alienating herself from a community that values authenticity and genuine engagement. If she continues down this path, she might find herself increasingly isolated, with fewer opportunities to connect with influential figures who could help elevate her brand. As we analyze Meghan's strategies, we must also consider the impact of public opinion on her career. The backlash against her attempts to commercialize her appearances could lead to a detrimental cycle. The more she tries to position herself as a brand, the more she risks losing sight of the very values that initially endeared her to the public. People crave authenticity. They want to feel that the figures they support are genuine and committed to making a difference. So what does this mean for Meghan moving forward? It's time for her to take a long, hard look at her approach. Is her focus on self-promotion truly enhancing her influence, or is it damaging her relationships with the organizations and audiences she wishes to engage? The public is not simply a commodity to be marketed to. They are seeking authentic connections and genuine contributions to the conversations that matter most. In this context, it's essential for Meghan to recalibrate her strategy. She needs to prioritize authenticity and meaningful engagement over self-serving agendas. The TIME100 Summit incident serves as a wake-up call, illustrating that the world is becoming increasingly skeptical of those who prioritize personal branding over substantive contributions. If she wishes to be seen as a leader and a voice for change, she must shift her focus from self-promotion to authentic dialogue and engagement. The stakes are high. The landscape of media and public perception is evolving rapidly, and those who fail to adapt risk being left behind. Meghan Markle has the potential to be a powerful voice for change, but to realize that potential, she must move beyond the superficial and embrace a more genuine approach. The choice is hers, and the implications of that choice will resonate far beyond the walls of any summit or event. In conclusion, Meghan Markle stands at a crossroads, and the recent incident at the TIME100 Summit is a critical moment for her. The rejection of her request to promote her podcast is not just about one denied opportunity, it's a clear signal that public sentiment is shifting. If she can't recognize the importance of authenticity and meaningful engagement, she risks alienating herself from the very platforms that could help amplify her voice. The world is watching, and the question remains, will she choose to adapt and connect on a deeper level, or will she continue down the path of self-promotion at the expense of her relationships and influence? The clock is ticking, and the answer could shape her legacy for years to come.